Hey guys, my name's Fizedi. Welcome back to my channel. In last week's episode, I mentioned that my football team was playing in the grand final, and I'm very happy to announce that they did win. So, as a little prize to myself, I am going to decorate the southern tunnel in my team colors, which are yellow and black. So, to do that, I needed some yellow dye. And that's why I'm at the flower farm. I need to get some yellow dye, but I noticed there were a few problems here at the farm, and it wasn't coping too well with the demand. So I've done a few little fixes. Let's go and have a look at them now. So one of the first fixes was downstairs here. The dyes or the flowers spawn in patches. So like in this patch here, in this particular case, I get the yellow flowers come in just this area here right up the very end, and it's not a big area. So yellow was always the hardest color for me to get. And I didn't have this one here, so the bone meal wasn't really reaching all the way up towards the back, so I was really missing out on some yellow flowers. So I've moved all this down a bit further and added an extra dropper here to dispense the bone meal up the top. So that's helping me out with the with some yellow flowers, so I get them a little bit better. I also noticed, this is me not knowing redstone very well, that here I always put a normal rail above the hopper because I thought it might lock the hopper, having powered rail over the top. So here, when I was redoing these ones, I sussed it out and it doesn't lock the hopper. So yeah, you can just put your powered rails over the top of the hoppers without it messing up. So that was the first thing I noticed. So the second thing that was going wrong is down here in the engine room, and the hopper sorting system here wasn't coping with the volume that was coming through. So if I look up here, previously I just had one block here and one block in each of these slots, which meant there was about 45 or 50, around about there, orange tulips sitting in here to sort. So what went wrong is when a whole stack of flowers came down here, this one went up to 64. As soon as this reaches 64, the thing breaks and it just stopped sorting. So then everything was going through to the composter. So to fix that, and I think it's probably something we should always be mindful of, is I've maxed these out by putting 10 of each, which means this is only 5. So you need to get 59 items in a row to mess this up, so that's not likely to happen. But just in case it did, I put something else in place as well. So the third thing I put in place was a delay between the flying machines taking off. As it was before, they'd both take off at the same time, they'd both get down the end at the same time, throw all the flowers in at once, and then come back. So now this one takes off first and this one takes off like a couple of seconds later, and there's just enough gap there so it's not getting hit with all the flowers all at once. So that sort of sorted all this out. I'm trying not to look over to my right because that's the next thing I want to chat about. I had an idea, and I've recorded this once before, but I messed up my settings and the display was shocking. So hopefully this is going to be all nice and crisp and sharp. But I had an idea of having a self-contained composting farm sitting next to it, so I wouldn't have to go off to the Skelly farm and get bone meal, bring it back. I just wanted it to self-contain. And my first idea was bamboo. Bamboo grows pretty quickly, and you know, if I chuck it through a composter, that'll be great. The problem with my plan was that bamboo doesn't compost. So that was a bit of a bummer. So then I decided I will do, well, the only other thing I can really do is sugarcane. So I built this little contraption here with a flying machine that goes along, and I had to make it twice as long as I was going to make the bamboo farm, just because these things do not grow very fast. and yeah, that was a bit of a bugger. I've set it up so that it goes off at dusk and dawn, and when it goes off, all the little hopper minecarts run down the end, and then they come back, and they're feeding straight into hoppers that go straight into composters, which go straight into more hoppers, straight into the chest. This is the sad news here. This was running for 4 hours probably, and this is all the bone meal I managed to get. But so it's not going to work. So, it's just a real shame because it took me a couple of days to build this thing. So I'm just wondering if I can just quickly, if I set him off, maybe by breaking that. So off he goes. And it's just a standard thing, and the minecarts are already on their way. They'll get there, come back and wait, and when this comes back, they'll get sent off on another trip, and it will process the... This one was back quick. Did he even take off? Sometimes there's glitches. Doesn't look good. Very suspicious. Anyway, I think it's working. Let me just wait for it to do the second round. Like, I should be able to see items on the ground. Anything? Anything? I don't really see any items on the ground. Let's run back. Okay, I'm not sure what is up. So when we get to the end, maybe that would clump in together. One got shot all the way over there. Let's see what comes back in the hoppers. Maybe something else is going wrong and that's why my farm sucks. All this here is just to send them all off. I was just one too many. Okay, this doesn't look good. I'm just going to go off and have a bit of a look-see at what is going on here. Okay, I've set him off again, and I was eating rotten flesh because I can't remember where I put my food. And I've chucked down there a stack of bamboo. So these guys should have already picked them up already. Yeah, so it's picking up things. Maybe it's just super quick. Except that bamboo's going to mess it up, but I'm going to, I should just take that 25 out. Let's see if it gets anything else on its return trip. Okay, I saw some stuff in there when it returned, and I would say it's only because the farm sucks that it's not really producing much. So yeah, that's a real shame. I am going to do something that I have not been a fan of, and that is I'm going to make a zero tick farm. I think the zero tick farm is what I'm going to need to run this, so I am going to pull all this down. That took me days and a few mistakes with water going in and washing out rails underneath and all the usual crap that you go through when you're doing this. So I'm going to pull this down, and we're just going to have this tiny little one tick farm sitting here. hopefully, or maybe not tiny. I think I saw one that's like a bit long, 5 wide or something, that produces an astronomical amount of sugarcane. Let's get on to pulling this down and building the other one. And just in case you're wondering, the little thing in the right hand side there is the scores. The competition is about to finish. I think there's only a day to go. So yeah, I managed second place. A bit hard to read. What about there? That's a bit better. I managed second place, so not a bad effort. It was to kill the phantoms. One thing that I got out of this little game or episode was phantoms aren't really that scary. Once you've got some decent armor on, they're not going to really hurt you. They make a lot of noise, but they're not going to hurt you. They might hurt you if you don't have armor. But anyway, I've half built Ilmango's farm, 16,000 sugarcane farm. I only half built it because you can add another module at the side here. So I guess this is his 8,000 sugarcane farm. It's quite clever the way they do a couple of things. Let's switch it on. I've turned the volume all the way down. And it becomes, as you can see, quite laggy at times on the client. But this is pretty clever. Like, they're dispensing lava and using it as a timer. So yeah, that's pretty clever. And up here we've got where all the black magic happens. And in here you can see we're getting lots and lots of sugarcane. And this has probably been running for no more than 10 minutes. And this is the results. So this is all looking good. And it's client-side lag, so it's not causing us any dramas. If I look at the TPS on the server, we're still running at 20 ticks per second. So that's pretty good. No one else is on currently, but even when there are people on, the server's running pretty well and manages to maintain 20 ticks a second. So what are we going to do with all this? Let's go and turn him off so we're not stuttering so much. There we go, it's a bit better. So what I'm thinking is it's all coming into this chest. I am going to have it come into the composter and then just have a chain of hoppers out of that, and they need to come in to this one. So, and then that'll feed the farm. So there's one thing I learnt, that you can't have a hopper go into the side of a composter. It's all backing up in here. It's all the sugarcane I broke when I removed the chest. So I'm gonna have to come one more along and I think just drop it down, but that should work fine. Okay, so it's happening now. We can see here that the composter is receiving the sugarcane. I'm just wondering if it is keeping up okay. It looks like it's not backing up any further. When I switch this off, this will all catch up, but it looks like it's okay from the speed. I was thinking maybe I might have to have a second composter there. So that is chewing out some bone meal every now and again. Let's see if we can see one fly past. There it goes. So I might AFK here for a little while, or not here. Downstairs it activates the farm as well. And see if it is self-sufficient. There's quite a lot of bone meal in it. I might take all the bone meal out and run it and see what happens. But that is it for this project, unless there's some disaster. I'm going to go over and start looking at decorating the tunnel. I've just had a look at the time and it's getting on a little bit, so I will finish this episode here. Next episode we will start decorating the tunnel. But I just want to put a call out if anyone is interested in joining the server. I am looking for getting maybe 20 more people on the server, so we've got a really decent community and have a few people on the server at any one time. So if you're interested, if you're serious, if you're mature and you want to play on the server, then I'll put a link in the description to the Discord. Contact me there. There's an application process. The server is whitelisted. You don't automatically get onto the server. We are looking for particular types of people. So put in the application, and if you match our criteria, we'll invite you onto the server. But that will do me now. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. That helps me out a lot. Remember to hit the bell so you get notifications of the next episode, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next week where we'll build or decorate our tunnel. Bye.